Hi everyone. Today we're just going to look at recording the heights that we measured, that we've recorded over here. We're looking at putting those measurements into our booking sheet. Now there's the columns that we need, there's the headings that we need. We've got our back site, intermediate site, foresight, rise, fall, RL and remarks. Now we're just going to go through that now. So we're going to actually record our heights. So A we've got here, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and A is also our benchmark. So we've put benchmark beside it. Then we've just put in our B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and then we're going to record the sizes. So we have A, and we record that as our back site because it's our first reading, and it's also our benchmark. B is an intermediate site, which we discussed. The C, D, E, F and G are all intermediate sites, and then H is our foresight. Okay, so now we've put those heights into the relevant columns, backside, intermediate site and foresight. We've got our benchmark, which is A. And we're going to put whether it's a rise or a fall. We can see here that the size goes from 1260 to 1170. So it's a rise of 90 mil. Okay, you can see it there. Visually you can see it. And there you can see it goes from 1260 to 1 meter 170. Okay, so that's a rise. Our next one goes from 1170 to 980, and we can see visually again that C is definitely higher than B, so it's a rise again. We do that with D. We can see there's a little bit of a fall there. So these sizes are very relevant to rise and falls. Okay, it's very important that the sizes are entered in the correct columns for rises and for falls. Okay, so then we went from 1 meter and 90 to 820, and we can see that that's also a rise, because if we went from D to E, we can see there's a rise there, but the numbers are reducing, so we're going up closer to our line of collimation. Okay, E is a fall of 20 mil. F was a fall of 20 mil. G is a fall of 280 mil. We've gone from 840 millimeters to 1.12, and we can see that it is definitely a fall. So we've entered that correctly in our booking sheet. And then we've got our final one of H. It's a rise of 340 mil. Okay, so we can see from 1120 to 780 is a rise of 340 mil. We can see that it's got closer to our line of collimation there. Okay, so then what we do, the next step is we actually total our columns up. We total our back sites, we total our foresights, we total our rises, and we total our falls, and they're the figures that we get. We then we start with our RL of 100, and that's what we nominated our benchmark at being 100. It could have been 50 or 0, but we always start. We can select any number we like, just as a nice round starting figure, and 100 is a nice round starting figure. So we had a rise of 90 mil, so we've increased our 100 to 100.090. Our next figure is 190. That's another rise, so we've increased it to 100.280. We then have a fall, so we can see that 110 has been taken away from our 280, and it's given us 170, and we just continue on down there with our rises and our falls. Okay, there we go. And then that's actually completing our booking sheet. But then what we have to do, we have to check to see we haven't made any mistakes, because it is very easy to make mistakes. One, you can put a figure in the wrong column, or two, you might do your rise and fall incorrectly. You might do your addition and your subtractions incorrectly. So we have three ways of checking that. Check 3 is the first RL minus the last RL. So 100 minus 100.48 gives us 0.48. That's the difference between those two figures, 0.480. Check 2 is the total rises minus the total falls. So our total rises here are 890 and our total falls are 410. So that gives us 480, and that figure 480 matches that figure 480. So we're on track. Our first check is total back sites minus our total fall sites. So there's our total back sites and our total fall sites. So it's 1260 minus 0.78 gives us 480 again. So we look at that and we can say bingo, 480, 480, 480. If those figures aren't the same, you've made a mistake somewhere in your booking sheet and you need to go back and redo it. So that's it. Okay, good luck.